Welcome back YouTube to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now, obviously, and you're new to my channel, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and also sharing with you all some tips and advice along the way, as well as some messages of hope to give you some clarity, understanding, messages of hope, obviously, so that you guys can hopefully live in peace and harmony regardless, and hopefully some of the answers to the questions of these everyday topics will bring some light to you. So in all for the do, guys, basically I'm going to take a break from some of these mental health and awareness series yet again, hopefully, and just bring out some of the messages that I want to bring out that has been close to my heart regardless what it is. I feel also while we're sharing these that someone out there needs to hear some of these messages, so hopefully along the way we can just share these messages around to these people and obviously wean them in and actually support them in any time we can. As you can read from the title of this video, as I'm going to call this one, is holding on or letting go. I believe that sometimes we need to take a step back and believe in ourselves that do we need to hold on to that something or someone that's basically aren't willing to change in themselves regardless of it all, that it's just a one-sided part of a relationship if we're in one or what have you. Do we feel that we need to hold on to that someone or something regardless of that relationship, if it's been that time that we keep forgiving them for abusing us in a form of abuse or what have you, which later on I'm going to be talking about some of this abusive behavior versus narcissist behavior and more, so be on the lookout for that. That's one of my new video series I'm going to bring out this year, hopefully of 2017 if I've got time, regardless what else I'm going to share with you all. But like I said, some more of that in the uptake of what I'm hoping to address to you all, what's going to be happening, to give you more in-depth detail. But in the meantime, however, we need to realize that we can't stop holding on to something or someone basically that will make the same or shall we say the same someone that we may have been with in a relationship, friendship or what have you, making that same excuses over and over again that they will change, however, or that there's nothing that needs to be changed. However, I believe wholeheartedly, sometimes people say to me, do you believe in second chances? For sure, but you got to remember now, I'm now trying to learn now, being the soft one I used to be by giving you guys chances after chances, one more chance and that's it. The one strike you out rule I'm learning right now. I believe also that they're blinded by the truth, obviously, for the ones that are abusing us, because obviously the abusers tend to obviously twist it and make us believe that we're the problem. However, again, this is not our problem. They can't see it, obviously, they can't admit it, obviously, again, based on the strong fact of denial, regardless what it may be. I believe also that regardless of it all, they just don't want to believe it, even though they're blinded by this truth. We all want what's best for others, right? I know I do. I guess you guys would too. That's a question you need to ask yourself also based on this everyday stuff. I know basically also we want to see them happy, want to achieve in themselves, believe in themselves regardless of what they can do in their own lives. We're constantly holding on to the bad habits that allows us to change. However, obviously sometimes it's a clear example what I've learned, even though I didn't want to share this, even though hopefully in one of my abuse series, is that for that person that kept on abusing me, they're like a little poison pill. I keep chunking away of that pill regardless, and I kept on making excuses that they will change, even though despite that we were constantly at each other's throats most of the time and we kept on blaming each other regardless. We didn't see what was really going on or what was the real dealio. We say we want to be rich, famous and the like, whatever it may be. We tend to talk the walk and talk the talk, or walk the talk, what have you, and that we still, however, basically for some reason want to continuously hold on to something or someone from our past that has caused us to fail, drag us down or whatever it may be. We say that we want to do what's best for ourselves, but there's not much of the changing that's happening, and that one part of it is that we blame ourselves for everything, even though sometimes we can blame ourselves for something that may have happened because we obviously allowed that particular someone or something into our life to actually cause havoc. Sometimes, for so many times I've done this and I keep telling myself, no, I'm much as fault as the person that, here's an example, as I shared before, has abused me, regardless what it may be, emotional, physical, and the like. But at the end of the day, I know that for some reason everyone around us, or we just feel that feel in our heart that we want to change, however, or they want to change. If you're downright and serious about wanting to achieve a particular goal set, however, having that particular mindset, you're planning your life right now, aim high and stop making excuses for yourself. Just get out there and hopefully just do it. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's up to you. Like, I'm believing in myself. Like I said, this is all something to learn. It's coming from my heart right now, and I'm not trying to drag you down. So hopefully this doesn't come out rude, obnoxious, or other sort of thing. I humbly apologize if it does come out a bit, straightforward or straight outright, nasty. It's not supposed to come out nasty. I know sometimes some of my messages may be blunt, or whatever it may be, how you feel about it, but hopefully, no matter what, it will go forward. Anyway, where am I up to? Excuse me. It's up to you what you want to do in your life. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life or dictate to you how you should be acting, thinking, saying, or what you wear, whatever. Because obviously it's too much of this dictatorship around already if we choose to allow it in our lives. Like I said before about the haters and all that. Obviously no one can obviously stop us from what we're doing but ourselves. Even if we put that self-doubt, self-hate in ourselves, or whatever it may be, sort of thing that will drag us down. Obviously it's all about us. It starts with us. The choice is us. It's in the mindset of our choices, however, of what we make, good or bad, however. As we know, sometimes with the choices we make, of the bad choices, obviously will teach us some life lessons along the way, hopefully, regardless what it may be. Obviously, it's up to us how we want our future to shape out, how we want to look into the future, what our life will bring, how to live a little. You will eventually have to cut off some things, or, some people in our lives that is holding us down or back. For example, especially for some of us females, especially, will die to try to stay young, fit and healthy, toned and sexy, just for the sake of the males, telling us, oh, you should be this particular way, you should be particular whatever. I hate that. Obviously, like I said in to myself, especially when I'm being, learning this based on my, infrastructure, what I'm doing right now of 2017 to try and, love myself for who and what I am, regardless what body shape I am and whatnot. Because I know for a fact that all females come from different shapes, sizes, and whatever, cultural backgrounds, to cause them to be, different. Yeah, we need to cut out the, junk food, alcohol, smoking, etc. That's a given, obviously. But again, that's our choice if we're dead serious enough to do so about this change and moving forward. Yes, like I said, it may be scary, overwhelming, and the mix emotions and feelings of the roller coaster, but that's part of life. Maybe it's a circle of friends that we may need to cut off. Some of us, that's giving us the bad influences, the bad company that you're with that has no intentions in doing better in their own lives, however. Basically, also, by doing the same shit every day, by putting people down, the gossip, still blaming everything and everyone around them about their own personal life, regardless. So, as they say, be wise, grasshopper, and let go of those two people, maybe. You say you want to be at peace and happy that you're holding on to a broken relationship. That's really making you unhappy, shall I say, tearing your heart and spirit apart. Let it all go. I know this is hard. I've learnt this the hard way with some of my relationships, sort of thing, and it's just a fact of a given that we just need to learn to love ourselves. We know who and what we are. We need to know who are the right people in our lives that will bring the good in us, or for us, shall we say. But what it is really good for us is up to us. Are we going to stay and keep holding on to the same old relationship, wishing and hoping for that change? Sometimes we can't forever change it, obviously, like I've learnt, for keeping up with the status quo, or just the fear of not having anyone in our life, regardless, basically the fear of being single and alone for a lifetime. We tend to settle and stay at the same place, or stay at a place and stay in a relationship where the opposite person will be, a right and truly person of who they really are. We come back to the same broken relationship and come back for the same reasons we left for in the first place, for the hope of change. we all can't hold on to the same hope, however, basically I've learned, and that, you know, for that hope of change. When we're dealing with that person of the same person time and time again, you know, when we're wanting that hope for that change, they won't change about it. All we need to do, obviously, is take a revelation in ourselves. Is there something we need to change in ourselves as well as that particular someone, regardless? Also, basically, sometimes when it comes down to letting go and stuff, it will allow for some growth and what have you, as well as maturity and wisdom about most things in our lives. When it comes to the point you have a relationship, obviously, especially when it comes down to many relationships I've heard about that has been broken down and there's been kids involved, obviously forever don't actually hold on to the relationship too hard. Obviously, if you know it's not going to work, even though, you know, you've got a child obviously in your life, you know, don't forever use them as a pawn forever. You know, sort out your crap and differences. However, you know, I've said this to someone on Facebook, obviously, of my advice, so I'm not going to share it again. I'm not going to mention their names or anything due to privacy reasons, and I'm going to respect that for them, obviously, what that may be still going through today. Okay, I'm here just to try and give you the honest, blunt truth here that, you know, regardless of it all, I've seen it before, and sometimes the child doesn't need to be in the middle of your guys' petty arguments. However, you know, you don't have to hold on to the relationship, yet work together as parents to that child. The child doesn't belong to the relationship to confuse them, regardless what it may be. If you both are out of life, however, don't treat this as a game so forth. Everybody thinks that life is a game of sorts, be it, you know, at work you're treating it as a game, be it, you know, you're taking a gamble of life as a game, regardless what it may be. You know, kids are in the middle, obviously, as you know, and they're going to miss out so much more at what's real and what's important to them, which is, you know, the love and support from both parents. You know, you should be around for the kids regardless what it is, regardless of, you know, using them as pawn, as I said, that no matter what, first and foremost, as always, kids will always come first. They should do, regardless what's going on. Parents obviously need to lead by example when it comes down to having kids. You know, you can't still be the parents to your child without being together as a couple. Again, I'll say it again, I can't stress it enough. Don't forever, you know, hold on to something or someone that's holding you back and that you're dead serious and moving on forward. If you feel that, here's a classic example, your relationship isn't working, or another classic example, as I just mentioned, being that parent that has a child involved and you know, taking that advantage point. Well, this basically ends quickly about, you know, the one of holding on or letting go. Basically, give me the like for thumbs up for support, comment below, feel free to private message me if you have to with any questions or just want someone to talk to, obviously, because I'm doing my very darn hardest, be it on my social medias. As I said before, my first video of the making that I've got now on Instagram, and that's Aspie87 or 875, I can't remember, but it should hopefully link to my Facebook regardless what it may be. So therefore, take care, subscribe to my channel, give me the like for thumbs up for support, and until next time, Aspie.